Have you ever seen white stuff growing on your crayons? Well, don't worry. Today we're going to talk about why that happens. It happens with markers, crayons, colored pencils. It can even sometimes happen on the drawings that you make of these things. So let's talk about why it happens and how to fix it. I'm Jenny from Jenny's Crayon Collection. I help you guys find the coolest artist place whatever project you're doing. First off, let's talk about crayons. I noticed this because on my crayons, my washable crayons, I had these crayons and I took them out and I was like, oh, so excited to use them. I take them out of the box and guess what? They have all this dust on them. I'm like, what is going on here? Well, come to find out, this is a common thing. So what happens is there's a wax base, crayons are wax base. When the crayon is exposed to air, it will oxidize. What does oxidize mean? It's just a term for a chemical reaction. Basically, the air, it was not a part of the original solution that was used to make the crayon. So then it reacts to the crayon wax and it blooms. It's just a little bit of the wax coming out of the crayon. It's nothing to be concerned about. The thing that you do want to be concerned about is if your crayon box is wet, because then that could be mold and that would be an entirely different issue. But look for signs to see if your crayon box is wet. This can also happen on colored pencils. You can see this bloom on colored pencils also. You can also see the bloom on your works of art. There's a super easy way to fix that. You take a blow dryer and you melt it down. Have you ever had chocolate that looks a little white? It's the same thing. It's just the wax oxidizing with the air. And once you melt that chocolate down, you're gonna have a perfect chocolate again. And so you'll have a perfect drawing or whatever you need. That's about it. That's what it is. The other thing that I wanna talk to you about, that I had a question about, is why are my crayons, my old crayons, turning green? That's a different problem. So what happened was back in the day when they first started making metallic crayons, they used a bronze additive. Yes, a bronze additive to make these crayons. And over time, these crayons have turned green because it's the same process. It oxidizes, the bronze oxidizes with the air. And then what will happen is it will turn green. But the good thing about it is that you can color it away. So you can just color it and get the green off and you can use that crayon again. It's perfectly as good as new. The one last one that I want to talk about are these markers. These are my favorite markers, and you should check out my video of where I did a stained glass window using these markers. What can happen with these markers is it also oxidizes. But the thing about markers is markers are a liquid. So basically when you're making markers or you're making crayons or colored pencils, you're gonna have a solution, you're gonna mix everything together, and then the markers get put into a barrel. They do not harden, they just get put into a barrel. They get caps put on them so it stays airtight. With crayons and colored pencils, you have a solution and then the solution hardens. They're more resistant to reactions with air, but we see that there is reactions over time. But what can happen with these markers is that they'll oxidize. Also, it's not the wax, it's a different chemical that's coming out, but it comes out on the markers. And unfortunately, when this happens, because the marker base is liquid, getting that off is really hard. So basically, sometimes it's just worth it not to use that marker anymore because you can't save markers as much. But I would love to see if anyone has tried saving a marker with this kind of bloom on it. Let me know in the comments below, and then maybe I can try saving some of these markers. If you guys say it has been done before, then I can try it out. I hope you guys like these tips on what's growing on your markers, your crayons, your colored pencils, your drawings, and how to save them so it can save you guys time. And you don't have to throw out those crayons that you love. Just take off the bloom and get coloring again. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.